HBO Max, and it is the newest film from director Steven Soderbergh and writer David Koepp. And it stars Zoe Kravitz in the lead role as Angela Child. She works for this big tech company that's essentially created the next Alexa or Google Home, and it's called Kimi. And when she's investigating data streams that are broken or compromised, she comes across a data stream that may reveal that a crime is actually being committed or has been committed. And she tries to bring it to her higher-ups. Whether or not the higher-ups in the company believe her, you have to watch the movie. This is definitely a Steven Soderbergh movie at heart. He has such a unique style to him. He's very heavily inspired by avant-garde. He focuses a lot on inanimate objects in the frame rather than the actual people that are inhabiting the scene. There's a lot of that in this movie, and there's a lot of lingering on those objects for multiple seconds. It's not just a quick cut and then move on. There is a purpose as to why he shows you specific objects in this movie, because they are objects of importance. He wants you to keep your eyes on those objects as we move forward, even if it seems like these inanimate objects aren't going to be relevant to the plot moving forward. Soderbergh also uses his trademark editing style and camera work in this film. When we're in this self-contained apartment that Angela is inhabiting, he was using more of a Steadicam, an actual camera that you would probably associate a lot of filmmakers using for filming a movie. But when the actual chase scenes happen and we get out into the real world, you also have to take into account the setting of this movie, which is during the pandemic. So it could be a bit pretentious, but the movie never comes across like that. Because we are in the setting of the pandemic, and the main character, Angela, is an agoraphobe. A lot of fear of anxiety and panic. I think that's what an agoraphobe is. Soderbergh switches to a handheld, guerrilla-style filmmaking. Lots of handheld cameras, lots of abnormal angles that you might not associate seeing in a movie. Not necessarily Dutch angles, but just angles that induce that fear and anxiety and panic, and not just the main characters, but the audience. You actually feel that adrenaline rush because of how Soderbergh films these scenes and how they're actually edited. There's a few quick cuts, but quick cuts that work, that don't compromise those feelings of anxiety or panic. It'll be a sweeping shot with a weird angle, and then a quick cut, and another chase scene will ensue. And it feels a bit repetitive, but it works. The movie is only an hour and 29 minutes long, so Soderbergh is able to craft a really unique thriller in such a tight, concise runtime, despite what other websites will tell you. Because there are some websites out there reporting that this is 2 hours and 29 minutes. That is not the case. However, with this movie, there is a point where I feel like it does feel it is dragging on a little bit, which is crazy because it's only 89 minutes. I think the problem is that once we step out into the real world, the screenplay throws a lot of conveniences out at us and a lot of hasty character decisions that aren't necessarily the best decisions. You can look at them as really, really bad decisions. The conveniences are also present in the first half, although I don't feel as if they're as present as much, but I do think that the conveniences in that first half are some things that need to be addressed. For instance, when Angela finds these data streams that are corrupted or broken, she tries to tell everybody she works with about it. There's people working from home that live in Seattle, the city that this movie takes place in, and higher-ups at her company that don't live in Seattle are in Seattle for business. So she has to bring some certain device to these higher-ups in her company. It just seemed like a really convenient way to just get people together instead of saying, I can't just email this to you. It just seemed a bit too easy for that character to get to where she needed to be. And then the bad decisions are a springboard off of those conveniences, to the point where I feel like we're getting to unrealistic heights with this movie. It is pretty far-fetched if you ask me. I don't think companies would operate in this manner. I could be wrong, but going as far as they do at the end, I'm not necessarily against the end goal. It's more just about how we got there with these conveniences and the bad decisions that Angela makes as a character. And I think that those could actually be solved with 1 or 2 more rewrites. That's my main issue with this movie, is its screenplay. I think it just needed a few more rewrites to really try and work its way around some conveniences and some really poor decisions that the main character makes, with that end goal still remaining intact. That's it. This is definitely a Soderbergh film at heart, with a frenetic performance from Zoe Kravitz, frenetic directing, frenetic filmmaking. Just falls a bit short in the writing department. I'm gonna say I really enjoyed Kimi with a full bucket of popcorn. So if you guys haven't checked this out, it's on HBO Max. Check it out when you get a chance. I think you guys will really like it. But it's weird because Soderbergh films get really great reviews from critics, but the general public doesn't really seem to like Soderbergh films all that much, aside from Traffic and Ocean's 11. So it's very hit or miss with general public, but usually his films are a hit with critics, and I thought that this one was actually one of his better ones. And I haven't seen all his films, but out of the ones I've seen, I think that this is a better one for sure. If you guys have seen Kimi, drop me some feedback as to what you thought of the movie in the comment section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.